SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold, and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, Euro and Dixie. So they're all more or less doing the same sort of thing as yesterday. Not much difference between it. So Dixie having a little bit of a move up from yesterday, that's fine. Still relatively weak, I would say. Sort of kind of anemic. This is your 21 exponential here, your 10 exponentials crossing your 20. So that's your Bollinger Band Center, all on a weekly here. On the daily, which is where we gauge support on that 200 exponential moving average, we're now getting rejection on the 10 exponential. So this looks to me kind of like, you know, a lower high kind of territory for another move down. It's early days still, but that's kind of how it looks. That's kind of how it feels. Then if we think about that on the euro, which is obviously doing the inverse of that, we're thinking about this on the daily. We've moved up to the 200 exponential as resistance, finding support on the 10 exponential. So basically the polar opposite. Support on the 200, rejection on the 10, rejection on the 200, support on the 10. So they're basically doing the same thing. And so if I was going to be looking at any of these two to work out who's doing what and what's the most important, I would say, yeah, the Dixie is interesting. The Dixie is the cool one that everyone likes to talk about. But really, I would say that the euro is the main component at the moment to all of this. And the euro is the one that's going to continue to either move the Dixie up or down. And at the moment, this is so far, although we did dip a little below it, so far a support that's been held. You know, I'm more into the idea of this holding 103 than breaking down below 102. 102 and below is going to break us back down to parity and beyond. But for the moment, on a chart formation, seems reasonable. So with that in mind, then we're thinking that Dixie can actually come down more or less at this level, but over the space of the week. Now that's just Dixie. Whatever Dixie does doesn't have to correspond to what Bitcoin's doing. Here's Bitcoin now responding to that continuation of a trend signal based around this candle body around 16. Now we're down another $1,000. Yeah, we've got a trend, a downtrend forming. Looking at this on the daily, we can see that yesterday we broke down below this sort of measly support basically and found ourselves just about tagging that descending trend line of the bear market, right? So that's your entire bear market resistance trend line. So far being tapped as support, but it is a very steep trend line, so we shouldn't get too excited about it because we're like, all right, so fine, we got support, where we're going to get support tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Support in a downtrend is not particularly tasty support, is it really? It's pretty nasty shit. Well, I don't normally swear. I'm probably going to get a flag for that. So, never mind. Right, so either way, not looking particularly convincing outside of the bullish divergence on the RSI and the money flow index on the daily. We also have that on the 3 daily that's been going on for a very long period of time. Again, you can't trade just on divergences. You can't say, oh, divergence, we're going to go straight up on the next low. You know, we could. I mean, it's there. The momentum is there. There is a pivot of momentum coiling up, ready to move in the opposite direction. That would make sense on a time basis, based on the fact that we're looking for a capitulation to have already happened or in the midst of happening. The last bear market ended with a giant capitulation and then a further 20% drop. So that could be what we're seeing here. Big capitulation and an X amount more drop. So we'll see where that goes. But more or less, it is the same kind of deal as yesterday. Not looking for anything massive or incredibly huge for Bitcoin, not really. I would be looking for this to maybe sort of bounce around this trend line, so lower 15s over the space of the next few weeks, down into the 14s potentially, to our situation where we've marked off a major level of support, which is more or less this peak, which is around about 14,000. So we'll see where we go, but there's nothing like bullish on this one. We've got a trend in play now from down in a downtrend. The only thing you could hope for now is that we do wiggle around in this kind of area, cancel out that downtrend signal, which is what would happen if we found the KuCoin touch price action or this blue cross this red. It's not going to happen today, not unless we have a big rally up to and above 20,000. That's what would do it. We could be looking at this as another bleed out to where we might eventually find ourselves accumulate within these next few months, basically between now and very early next year, January next year. And that would be so in keeping with the way that it played out previously. Kapow! Accumulation! Springtime, summer, dead. Bitcoin's dead. Oh, we're going back up. Bitcoin's dead, never coming back. Hey, we're going up. It's $1 million next week. Huh? What the hell happened? Hey, I told you $1 million. Huh? What the hell happened? Cyclical event, basically, all the same. So, like I said, there's nothing much more to say about it. Sitting on the sidelines is the safest thing to do. Wait for an accumulation period. Definitely a good idea. Trying to get clever and buy catch knives around these levels. Not particularly feeling it because there's absolutely nothing on these time frames to suggest uptrend momentum. We're going to have a look at the 1 hourly just to see if there's any kind of pivot. No, nothing here. But actually there's a bit of bullish divergence brewing, so maybe what at best, and again I'm not going to be looking to trade this, I'll be looking for the bigger swings on this, not these little miniature ones. But if we were to look at trading something like this, yeah, maybe we swing down into this trend line, which would take us down to the lower 15,200 thereabouts. And that could be where we find a springboard on the shorter term time frames, probably only taking us up to just short of 16,000. Where we lost this horizontal that had been in place since here and here and here. So yeah, maybe that's the maybe that would be the trade setup over the next few days, maybe just even today. So a swing down to 15,200 or thereabouts, and then a bounce back up, which only offers you about 4%. It's not my kind of trade. I like the big ones, to be honest with you. So I'll be sitting back and waiting and watching, and carry on with the rest of my my existence. Looking at some traditional markets, to be honest with you, they're the ones that are offering the offering the actual moves. Anyway, I'm going to leave with you there. There's nothing much more to say. Whatever Bitcoin's going to do, altcoins will certainly do, as we all know. Well, that's why I made that video over the weekend saying altcoins are about to get T-wrecked. And they have, and they could easily get further wrecked. So from that video, saying about 50% from there. So half their value shaved off to wherever it is that they're looking to go down to. And we'll see where that is. We don't know. But yeah, it's not a place to be anyway. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.